she gave some good advice. You know that person you go, or that brother you go to, who all you call because you got some troubles, and as soon as you start talking, trouble smooth as fade away. You got that girlfriend? You got that kind of friend y'all can talk to? I know. I got one too. I got one. I talk to him all the time. He talks back. Sometimes I don't like what he says, but get through it. Anyway, Miss Harriet Harris, she did sweet potato pies. She gave go somewhere, and they say, "Hey, did you talk to Miss Harriet?" Solve it. Good idea. So all of a sudden, Mr. Lloyd Cruz, he comes into town, got a lot of money. He's building a house up on the hill. And Mr. Lloyd Cruz is building a house, and every time he goes down to the village, he starts talking to the people. I remember when that happened, every time he turned around, Miss Harriet was the one. He was thinking, wow, that Harriet Harris is in my head. So house is built, all settled in, had friends and everything. He decided just for her. So all of a sudden, Harriet Harris got this envelope out her mailbox. How nice. Oh, she went into her closet. You know, go into. Figure out what dress. She had some nice stuff, but she very rarely went out. You know that kind. She very rarely goes out. So she pulls out a dress, got a little dust on the shoulders. That's okay because she, got that damp towel and, dressed it up and whole bit it fine, and she hung it in the air. You know. And then found her some shoes. Wow, much. But she found some shoes. Now, they may have been a little old, but they still look good. They weren't run over. The heels still look good. I'm talking about. So she tried them on. It looked good. They're a little dull. She got a Vaseline. It looked good, right? She found her hat in her hat box. They all labeled. Y'all got them hat boxes with the labels on them. Like you don't. I know you. Anyway, she had found the hat, the dress, matched that dress out. Off a little bit, fixed it up, kind of did a little steam on it. But she took care of all of that. And you know what she did? She made sweet potato pies. She was ready. So the day came, she got all dressed, had the sweet potato pies in a little, you know what I'm saying, on those little tote things. Got up, horse and buggy, underneath, pushed the pies in, got up on the horse and buggy and started riding. She knew the house because she had seen it up on. She got up there, got out, pies, and walked. Anyway, knocked on the door, waiting for her. So he knew that was Harriet Harris. He ran to the door. He opened the door. The help goes in the back. She was in shock. She took the pies and herself, walked back to her horse and buggy, got up on the horse. She was a little bit mad, rolled back, stopped in her friend's house. They were merchants, and they had told them the story of what just went on. They were steaming. They said, we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to fix you up. They got her a beautiful purple dress, ooh, and a lovely purple hat. You know the one with that's right on the right there. That one, pillbox. Had her fixed her hair, put it in a ball. It looked good. Had some gloves. They weren't purple. They were lavender. And she had some boots. No, they were not purple, but they were black, and they were shiny already without the Vaseline. Look good, good, good. So she got back up in the buggy and went back. She got out, knocked at the door. Anyway, that lady was before me. Ooh, woo, you must be Miss Harriet Harris. She said, mm-hmm. He said, come on in. Come on in. And she walked in. Said it just in time. Okay. She was at the other end. There was guest queen. First thing came. Soup. Tomato. It smells so good. Harriet. Right in that purse. Table kind of. They didn't pay it none. She must be doing it. Then the next thing that came up was the salad. Sat there and that salad right in and had all good. Now people are getting a little suspicious and they don't know what to do. But Mr. Cruz is trying to stay cool. So, meal, fried chicken. It looked good. You know, they even had those little pickle slices of cucumber and tomatoes, and you put the salt. Ooh, half of that. And the other part, put in the other shoe. Fried chicken, though, she put in the pocket. That for later. And Mr. Lloyd Cruz was just upset. He said, okay now, okay. Now, I kind of let you go with the soup, but now the main meal, he said, what is going on? She said, I mean, the first time I, so now I come, and it's the clothes, evidently, that you invited, so I wanted them to eat well. Miss Harriet Harris went home, cleaned herself off, took a real good bath, had a robe on. She sat by the fire and ate. Well, the farmer one day decided he was going to go on a walk. And he walked for a long while, and he looked at an eagle's nest that was right by the mountain. But he also noticed that there was an eaglet that was on, would not get back up on that nest. home. He took the eaglet home and he put it with the chickens. And that eaglet raised our year with those chickens. Big old ugly bird. Thought he was a chicken, though. Pecked with the chickens. He did everything with the chickens. They don't fly, he don't fly. They were just, he was just a chicken. That's all they thought. And the other chicken said, well, he kind of big, though. But we accept him as a brother. So they all were together. One day, a friend of his came by. Farmer's friend said, brother, is that an eagle? Said, yeah, it's an eagle. He said, well, why is it with the chickens? Well, he said, it don't know. It thinks it is a chicken. Why not? It was raised with the chickens. He said, that's an eagle. You know what eagles supposed to do? They're supposed to fly. They're supposed to fly high. That's a chicken. So the friend the next day came over to the house, the eagle, up on the roof, threw the eagle off the roof. The farmer said, what you doing? And the eagle fell down. That's all he knew. Oh, the friend was just frustrated, couldn't believe it. Could not believe that happened. I told you. The farmer said, I told you it's a chicken. I'm not going to believe it. Next day, friend came by. Pecking, just a pecking. Friend was like frustrated. But I told you, chicken. Well, friend was not going to take no as the answer. One day, right before dawn, he knocked on the farmer's door real early in the morning. He said, the eagle. Farmer said, so he took, they walked, and they walked to basically up. That eagle woke up. Right into that sun. Ooh, the farmer couldn't believe it. Are you kidding me? That eagle has to do what he's doing. Now, this story was created by Joseph Agre, Ghana. And it was during the time when Ghana was not independent, but they were trying for independence. He had to tell this, let his own people know. We are eagles. And you put us at the right setting, and we will soar. You all are so, I love people. I love being in front, especially churches, because y'all do the When I was in grad school, if the professor was talking really good, I go, I had a friend come over next day. He said, church instead of class. But he talking really good. But anyway. That's right. Well, person that makes clothes. Clothes. There was a tailor. He was one of the best tailors, and he was always busy. He was busy from sun up to sundown. But in his mind, when he was really resting, he decided one day he was just going to close up, going to go to the next town over because they had good fabric. He wanted to go to the next town over to get fabric so he can get this coat done. He looked at all the fabric, the fabric that was calling to him. You know, I see something that's calling your name. You know, you got to buy it. Maybe you don't have the money, but you say, wait, I'm coming. But anyway, so he saw some fabric that was out of sight. He felt it. He knew it. Oh, that fabric was buttons. He got bread. He did all the things he have a good coat. He went home, spread it out on his table, sized himself up. I only do that when I have a YouTube video. I can't do it by myself. But anyway, he did it. He sized himself up. He have a good coat. And did he sewed lovingly. Finally, the coat was done. He put it on. Whew. This coat was good. It looked good. He looked in the mirror. Have a nice dress on, and you don't want to say it, but you know you want to hear people. Well, he opened the door. He walked outside. Goodness, that is a good-looking coat. Woo, where'd you get that coat? That coat looks like you. Woo, woo. Hey, you made that coat? Can you make me one? I thought he was on GQ. He was looking so good in that coat. Whatever, get it, I want it. So he wore that coat, and he made coats just like his for a long time. Every time he went out, he wore that coat. And you know what happened? He wore that coat, he wore that coat. Woo! He wore that coat. It was nothing but shreds. You have that. I got a blue jean jacket I love. I know I got to get rid of it now because it's got some holes. I'm trying to think if I should patch it up or not. My kid's going to tell me, Mommy, get rid of it. But anyway, he wore that coat. He wore that coat. He wore that coat out. So he put it on the table. Yeah, I still got some good fabric in there. What am I going to do? So he was so talented and creative that he decided that he would patchwork it with the fabric already. Beautiful design. And he made a jacket. Ooh, he made a jacket, and it looked good on him. It looked so good. Had a little kick on the back just to hide up here. But, you couldn't even see it now because of that jacket. Ooh, he was looking good. He walked outside. People said, woo, where'd you get that jacket? I got one. Oh, it is so wonderful. That jacket is out of sight. Make me one. Everybody wanted a jacket. So he started making coats. What he did, he wore that coat, jacket, he wore that jacket. He wore that jacket out. Whew, he realized he was getting a little bit of a breeze back here. He knew it was time to give it up. So he laid the jacket out. was a vest. Oh, it was gorgeous. First day he walked outside. Woo, woo. Everybody, where'd you get that vest from? And it was spring. So he wore that vest and people wanted it. People, he had orders. He was getting new employees because he couldn't keep up with all the orders. So he was getting new employees. He expanded his place because he couldn't keep up with all the volume. So people were getting. Oh, and you know what? He wore that vest. Wore that vest. He wore that vest out. Oh, he wore it out until it was nothing but shreds. Shreds, hear me? He laid it out on the table. He said, what I'm going to do with this? And he had an idea. Together, and it was just beautiful, just enough. You know what? He had a little, wasn't that attractive, but with that cap on, he didn't even have to go to E-House. He looked so good in that hat. He was walking around. People said, where you get that hat from? I got to have one. Oh, my goodness. He wore that hat. He got hat orders. He got vest orders. He got jacket orders, coat orders. Now he's got a big old building making a whole lot of stuff, almost like a Sears. Called it Sears. But anyway, so he wore that hat. He wore that hat. He wore that hat out. Woo! And so he finally took it off. But by that time he had a girlfriend, and she didn't care about his head after that. She realized he was a so hit his head, it didn't matter. So he looked at that and he was gonna make. Decided he was gonna make some buttons. Had another coat. He really liked it was fall by this time. So he wore those buttons outside, and the jacket was nice, the coat was nice, but you know what? People didn't care about it. They love those buttons. Fancy, so original. Oh my goodness, where you get the buttons? So now, button orders, cap orders, vest orders, jacket orders, and coat orders. Woo! He was making it. And he wore those buttons. He wore those buttons. He wore those buttons out until all he had. I just told you. I'm just lay here because it's. Oh, no, let me give you another one. I'm going to give you, okay, I'll give you this one first. This is a good one. Okay, you all ready? Because you got to listen. The man, his mother, his sister, and his wife decided to go to the market. Now, it was a very hot day. Have a car. There's 4 of them. They didn't have a car, so they had to walk. You know South Carolina heat. Yes. Yes, they lived in one of them little small towns, low country. Hot. Yes, it was. So they started walking and walking. It was hot. You know, they all had their scarves and everything, their hats, but it was hot. It was hot, hot, hot. And so they decided to sit at one point underneath a tree, get a little shade. The mother, she saw that there was a well over on the side. She said to her daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law, you go over there to that well and get your husband. You know your husband. Go get him some water. So she went over to the well, And all of a sudden, she looked in that well. Oh my goodness. She didn't know what to do. So she just sat there on the side of the well. Mother-in-law was looking at her saying, what happened just now? So she said to her daughter, daughter, your brother has been so good to you. He's putting you through school. He's paying for your tuition and your clothes. Go on over there to that well. I don't know what happened to his wife, but go on over there to that well and get him some water. The daughter said, yes, ma'am. So she went over there to the well. She saw the sister-in-law. Sister-in-law said, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. And the sister-in-law said, girl. She went and leaned on the well and she was a little embarrassed to look at her sister-in-law. Sister-in-law looking like, I done told you. So they both sitting on the side of the well. Well, mother-in-law saw that. He said, where them girls go? What happened to them girls? And she didn't know. She said, baby, don't worry. You know I've been there for you. I gave birth to you 1,800 hours. I was in labor. I love you. So I'm going to get you some water. I said, thank you, Mom. Thank you. So she walked over. Now she mad. She walked over to the well, and the two are going, don't get it, don't do it, don't do it. She said, you be quiet. That's my son. I lost my figure for him. And next thing you know, she well, and my lipstick ain't popping. That's a shame. Anyway, she lost. Ooh, she didn't want to look. So she sat on the other side of him. Ooh, she was mad and embarrassed. Well, now the son, the brother, the husband, he's trying to figure out what happened. I really didn't want no water, but now I'm curious and I am kind of thirsty. He said, I sat down over there. Get my own water. He went over there and he saw all three of them, and they were going, no, don't go. And he said, I'm thirsty. And all of a sudden he looked in and he sat right there on the side of the well. Well, a man was walking past. He noticed the four of them on that side, and he said, how y'all doing? And they all went with him. He said, so the well is taking left eyes today, I see. And they all went, He said, well, I tell you what. I'll go down into the well, and I'll scoop up your eyes for you. He said, but you got to give me something for doing it. And the man, the brother, the son, the husband, he said, okay, anything. He said, okay. So filled him. He scooped up the four eyes and brought him back up. He took one, he said, because I need this one. Lost his eye getting some water last week. And he said, and here you go. Well, the brother, the son, the husband, snatched the eye and popped it in. The man kind of looked at him. He said, okay, go. And he walked away. Now, 2 eyes left. Who gets them eyes? Pay. Mom and the wife? Mom and a sister? The wife and the sister? The mama? The mom and the wife? Is it the who? The mom and the sister? Okay, well, this is called a dilemma tale. And these stories are told in West Africa for just this, a conversation, a lot of laughter, and really it's a psychological thing to see if you really love your mama. That's another thing. And your wife and your sister. You know, depends on who's in the audience at the time. I was at a church in Illinois, and I told this story, and all the women started yelling, "The mama don't get it. The mama don't get it." There's no answer to this. But note to myself is I did jail ministry when I was in Illinois, and I told this story in prison. Prisoners didn't like it. Because for the rest of the day, they kept saying, "Really? Who got? You can tell me, who got the mines? Really, really?" I had to be escorted wherever I went that afternoon. That was a lot of fun. So that's a dilemma story. You can tell it, have a great conversation with it, but I really, myself, I wouldn't have given it to the mom, sister, and the wife, but that's just me. I loved my mother-in-law, but, you know. She done seen a lot of things. She already saw a lot of things, so the two young ones should have eyes, don't you think? Or pop that one out of his head and take all three women go. But anyway, so my last story. So Granny loved to garden. Granny loved to garden so much that she had the biggest garden in the village. Granny loved gardening. She liked beans, greens. But anyway, Granny loved to garden. She did. She loved it. So now it was time to start picking. That was her most exciting part. Pick. So Granny started picking the greens. She got the greens and basket, picking them and put them in a basket. But Anansi was up in the tree. He was up in the tree, and he was looking at her, and he was looking at them greens, and he knew one thing about Granny. Granny loved to dance. All of a sudden, he started going, da, 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 da. So Granny's trying to hold herself and still pick. But, ooh, the music got good to her. Oh, da, 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 da. And Granny started dancing, dropped her bag, and she started dancing. And by the time she stopped, it was 5 miles out. Oh, my goodness, 5 miles. Ooh, 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 ooh. Granny got home. So what happened? Who was doing that music so good? She got home and realized her greens were gone. That night, Anansi's house, his wife and his mama made some greens. Not the ham. Smoked turkey, and they had it so good. And afterwards, anyway, it went in belly full for all three of them. Well, the next day, Granny got up. She was ready, get going for the day, and she was going to pick those beans. You know, mother and I used to do that. I didn't like it then, but I look back on it, and I'm so glad I had that time with her. You know, those were days of wisdom. If you ever get that opportunity, take it. Anyway, I can see him now. I was so unhappy. Watching Lost in Space. But anyway, so those beans. So she was picking those beans and her basket. Oh, she was picking those beans. And Anansi was behind a rock. All the things he could have with them beans. Ooh, them beans were looking good. And she was picking them. And ooh, next thing you know, Anansi started singing. And she said, I'm going to resist. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, next thing you know, Granny started going to the east. Ooh, she was dancing, and about 7 miles out, ooh, she realized she had gone too far. Ooh, she was tired as I don't know what, and by the time she got back to her garden, all them beans was gone. She was so mad she didn't know what to do. Ooh, Granny was mad, but Anansi, his wife, and his mother, they popped them beans. It was called a cooker. We had a pressure cooker. You remember those pressure cookers where you had to go get the rubber? Mm-hmm. And at that time, my mother would make chitlins. And one time, they exploded, and they all went out of that hole. Ooh-wee! My father and I worked nights. So my father picked me up one night, and we came home like this. Oh, God, what happened? All the grease had dried. My mother was upstairs. She didn't even want to talk about it. Had a little bit of chitlins. Anyway, so they had them in the cooker, the green beans in the cooker with the smoked turkey. Well, oh my goodness. Had a little bit of the greens left too. Ooh, they had a whole bit. Oh, ooh, they ate so well that night. Belly full. Ooh, well. Granny to sleep that night. She slept well. 7 miles out, she slept really well. 14 miles, can you imagine? Slept so well. Got up that next day and started picking tomatoes. Like them fried green tomatoes. Y'all know that? Ooh, ooh, the good seasoning. Ooh. She was just thinking about them fried green tomatoes. And then she had some red ones on there too. They were looking good. So she had her basket and she was delicate, like it was love. She was. And Anansi behind a bush had the same thought. Fried green tomato. And all of a sudden he started singing. She said, next thing you know, Granny started dancing. She started dancing to the north. She just danced all the way 10 miles. Ooh, she was tired. Really in good shape, though, for a Granny. Ooh. But anyway, she got back, and by the time she got back, all of her tomatoes, that's how my grandmother called them, tomatoes. She said, all them tomatoes. And I tried to figure out, there's no. Anyway, she was one of sad Sears too, but I loved her. Anyway, so all those tomatoes were gone. Not even one. She couldn't believe it. Gone and taking them home. They made soup. They sliced those tomatoes with those cucumbers. Ooh, 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 ooh. They had a good salad and belly full. Ooh, now, Granny was smoking hot. She was trying to think what she was going to do. So mad. So the next morning, Granny got out early because she had to do potatoes. Now, how do you pick potatoes? Do you know how to pick? You know where they're from? They're out the grounds. That's your dog. Y'all do gardening? Well, you could, because you know where it's from. Anyway, her eyebrow went out and said, don't even think about it. Anyway, so she got up early because she had to get them from the ground. So she got up early and started plucking them potatoes out. Plucking. And you know what? Even though it was that early, right there again behind a rock. And oh my goodness, salivating because he kept thinking potato salad, mashed potatoes, potato salad, mashed potatoes. And so Granny was working because, you know, you really got to get low. You got to get low. A lot of times you use that pad and just kind of scooch, you know. And so she was doing, next thing you know, Anansi went, duh, 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 duh. She got up. Duh, 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 duh. One thing she said she was going to do. She went past that rock, grabbed Anansi, and she danced with him 20 miles out. And nobody got her potatoes that day. Whew. And that is.
Thank you. That was wonderful. That was. It is now time for us to head to the. Again, we want to say thank you so much for the wonderful stories, for taking us places and the lessons that we learned. I got it. If nobody else. Oh, Holy Spirit, we just thank you again for another opportunity to be together. Father, we put before you all of the family.